Hello everyone and welcome back to Stampin Squirrels. It's Debbie here, Squirrel 2, and today we're all things hot dog. So we're using the Stampin' Up hot dog stamp set. I like this stamp set for its versatility. Not only do you get these really cute little dogs, these Dachshunds on the stamp set, but you also get some really great sentiments as well. And so I think this is quite a versatile set just for that reason alone. So I'm going to be showing you a number of cards today, different videos, but I'm going to show you how versatile this stamp set is and all the different things that you can do with it. And I've mixed it up obviously with some other stamp sets as well from Stampin' Up. But this is the one that we're going to go with today. I love this little dog. Look, I've put him on a wobble. Of course, Stampin' Up don't make the wobbles, but you can of course buy them from all good craft stores and from Amazon, which is where I got mine from. And we've also teamed this stamp set up. I wanted a unique background for this. I wanted some really pop colours. And so I've teamed it up with the brushed Blooms stamp set. Not that I have used any of the sentiments, etc. from it, but what I have done is I've used one of the dies from this particular bundle, and that's this one here. And this is what we've cut out the background shapes with. I've cut it in half. Terrible sacrilege, I know. But I've cut it in half because I wanted to sit and cut all of the little die cuts out through my Stampin' Up Mini. And I didn't want to stand up and do it in my big machine. So I cut it in half and it's worked absolutely perfectly. And if I wanted to use it as a whole, I can just pop it back together again as well. So that's the die cut that I've used for the background, and I'm going to be showing you what we did and how I've got the pop colours to go into the back as well. So there's two ways that you can do that, so let's get on. So let's clear these away and I'll give you the measurements, etc. of the cards and all the bits that you need. Oops, drop that on the floor. Alright, so this card has a black card base, and the card base measures 6 inches by 8 inches and it's been scored at 4, so it makes a 6 by 4 card. And then you need a piece of black card. Now you'll see that this piece has got all of the shapes cut out, but the black piece of card measures 5 7/8 of an inch by 3 7/8 of an inch. And then what I've done is I've taken this die and I have systematically cut out, and so that I have got 6 apertures all the way down. I've just slid the die down each time to make sure that I get those 6 apertures, and so that's it. Now I cut this in half like I said, but it didn't work for this piece. You have to go through the larger Stampin' Up die cut machine, but for the smaller pieces, the cutouts, I managed to use the Mini for that. So this bit again, as I said, 5 7/8 by 3 7/8 of an inch. And then you need a piece of white for the inside, and that's exactly the same measurements, 5 7/8 by 3 7/8 of an inch. And then you just need some scraps really. So I've got a scrap of pink, I've got some So Saffron, and a little bit of Coastal Cabana there. And I've also got a few scraps of the In Colour Designer Series paper 6x6, and I'm going to be making a little jacket for the dog with these, using one of the stamps as well. So I'll show you how to do that and what I'm going to use all these scraps for as well. Okay, so pop those to one side. So let's bring back this and let's talk a bit more about this. So what I've done is I've taken the Brush Blooms die here, and like I said, I've cut 5 out this way and then moved it down and cut another one. And then all of the bits that pop out, don't throw these away. So the bits that pop out are really, really useful, because what you could do is you could take a really brightly coloured background and then stick these on and then get a reversed look. So I don't think it's worth throwing these away. I'm going to keep all of mine. I'm going to use them for something else, another project. So essentially 2 cards out of 1. So keep those to one side when you've cut them out. And then when you've cut them out, you need to get your scrap of card and you need to cut out the same aperture in all the colours. So I'm not going to show you that because that's going to be super boring, but essentially once you've cut out all of those different coloured scraps, this is what it will look like. So I'm going to slide this one over here, like so. So I've cut all of the scraps out and I've popped them in the holes just so that I know which place they should be in. Now if I bring back my original card, I've done two versions of the card here. This one was a 4, a slightly smaller card, and it fits, just perfectly fits these 5 apertures here. So you could either go for a smaller card if you wanted to. I wanted to go for something a bit larger, and so this is a 6x4 here. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to do some stamping because I'm going to stamp my hot dog sentiment onto this piece of white here, because this is going to form my sentiment. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to stamp my greeting onto this white piece here, this section. So I'm going to do that before I stick anything down. And I only want the word hot dog to appear in this section, not that it's your birthday, and the stamp itself says both. So I'm going to mask off a little bit and just stamp the hot dog, and I'm going to use a piece of scrap card just to mask it off. So let's give it a go and hope it works. You need to take a little bit of time with this. Make sure you get it right. I've been and put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. And try and get it centered and try and get it straight. Squirrels are wonderful, squirrels are wonderful, squirrels are wonderful. Excellent, it worked. Phew. So I'm going to pop that back in. Because a bit later on, I'm going to stamp It's Your Birthday and reverse that and do something else the same the next time. So here we go. I'm going to pop that to one side. Get rid of this for a minute. Okay, what's the next stage? Well, let's take back our card base, find a bone folder, and just burnish that edge so it's nice and tight. You can at this stage, if you wanted to, put the inside of your card in. Alright, and now we're going to apply this top piece. And the way that I did it is I took everything out and I actually stuck it down. Now, I've tried raising this with foam dimensionals, and I've tried actually just sticking it down, and I've found that the best look for me is to just stick it straight down on. But before I do that, I'm going to sit and just poke out all the bits here. Not that it makes any difference in a way because it's going onto a black background, but let's do it anyway. Okay, just get rid of those bits. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to find some glue, and then I'm going to stick this down. Okay, so what I've done now is I've glued those all in. They're all dry and nice, and I've given them a few minutes. So I'm going to pop that to one side, and we're going to do a bit of stamping now, because now we're going to stamp the lovely dashant hot dog and some other bits and bobs with the scraps that we've got. A bit of glue there. Alright, so the next thing, I'm going to bring back my stamp set, and I'm going to find a couple of blocks. And what I want to do is I want to stamp the lovely woofer. Just having a look to see which one and whether I'm going to go for a sitting down woofer or a standing up woofer. Let's go for a sitting down woofer this time because I had a standing up one last time. And I want the little hat. It would help if I put my glasses back on. The little hat, that's super cute. And the jacket. Now you might not realise, but that line there creates a nice little sort of jacket, so I'm going to have that one as well. So I'm going to take my scrap. Now you don't have to use pink, you could use any of the corresponding colours, but I use pink because I'm going to place it where the kind of the pink strip is. I'm just going to bring back the Memento Black. And I'm going to stamp it sort of up to the edge of the piece of scrap, so I don't have to cut that bit out, like that. I'm just going to show you a little trick that I did with mine to just make my black a little bit more intense around the jacket here. So I take my scissors and I'm just going to fussy cut that out. And in fussy cutting it, you might lose some of the black jacket, which I don't want to do. So I'm just going to take my Memento ink and I'm just going to roll the edges of that jacket in the ink, just to give it a nice outline, and pop that to one side. Okay, that's the jacket. So the next thing I want to do is I want to stamp my lovely little hot dog. Now there are no dies with this stamp set, but so easy to fussy cut out. I've done it a lot and it's really easy. So he's all cut out nice. I say he, it could be a she. She looks pretty, so it's probably a lady. And then you can see when I've got the little jacket, it's going to go like this, onto her like that. But also, now you don't have to do that, what I'm about to do, if you don't want to. If you've got any kind of blend pens, anything like that, you can just take a little blender and just give it a little bit of depth. So I've got light and dark, so saffron. I'm just going to take a bit of the dark and give it a little bit of an outline. Good, and the other thing I want to do is I want to stamp a little party hat. So I had a little party hat here. I'm going to stamp this with black. Scrap here of Coastal Cabana, and again we're going to have to fussy cut this out. So before I do, you can either just leave it. I can't leave anything, you know me. So I'm going to take the light Bermuda Bay. I'm just going to try and give this a little bit of all right, so that's that fussy cut out nicely. So I've got all my bits and bobs. I've got my lovely Lady and the Tramp dachshund, I've got the jacket, etc. Now what I've stuck my woofer on with is a wobbler. As I said, you can get these in craft stores, and I got mine from Amazon. So if I bring back my card base here, I'm going to put my lady about here, and so she's going to be about there. She's going to have this nice little jacket on like so, and a party hat, and I'm going to stick all of those down first before I put her on. So I'm just going to take a little bit of wet glue. And then what you need to do is let that dry, because it's a bit wet. So put it off to one side, let that dry. Let's bring the card base back, because now I'm going to stamp this greeting here. So I've got some scrap Magenta Madness here. And what I need to do is I need to bring back the greeting, and we're going to, as we said earlier, I'm going to reverse it. So I don't want the hot dog, I want the words "It's your birthday." So I need to bring back my piece of scrap as well, so that I can mask that off. Now what you can do at this stage is you can just cut it straight, like this one, just with a pair of snips. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch mine out using this punch to stick it underneath. So I'm just going to pop it in. It fits perfectly. And pop it out. So note to self, next time leave a bit more room. And that's going to go there. Like that. And you can put that on, you can either stick that down or you can pop it onto some dimensionals. I'm going to pop it onto some dimensionals. Hot dog, it's your birthday. Lovely. So then the next thing is we're going to talk wobbles. So here's the wobble. It's got two sticky areas. Got something on my knuckle. Sticky back plastic bits this side and this side. I haven't found that there's any difference in terms of which side you stick it on, but I tend to stick this surface to the actual dog and then the flatter surface to the card. And it's important that you get it straight. And what I have found with these wobbles is that they're slightly too big. They show underneath the dog, which I don't like. So what I do is I take, is that good English? So take the dark so saffron. You don't have to do this, bearing in mind that that's going to peel off this bit, like that. But I try to colour it so that anything that sticks out doesn't really show. And the other thing that I would say about these wobbles is that you need to get them really straight. They seem to go off at an angle if you're not careful. So they're not completely lined up, the base with the top. So I want it like this. So I've stuck that on. I'm going to peel the bottom off. They're usually split in the centre, a bit like Stampin' Up stamps are. Peel off the stick. And then make sure your lady is exactly as you want her to be. And then push her down like that. Now I don't like that little bit of plastic sticking at the top. Oh my God, I'm so particular. I'm just going to colour that a little bit of pink. I'll hate that as well because it's a different colour. Never mind, just demonstrate. So, that's the boinger. Boing, boing, wobble, wobble, wobble. Oh no, now because our hat's not dry. Gosh, this has been slight disaster, never mind, all fixed. Good, what's missing? I'm going to make a little bird. So just take a piece of scrap ribbon, any colour that you think matches in. I've got some of this old, looks like Bermuda Bay. And that's going to go like that. So what I'm going to do now is bring back some glue dots. And then I'm going to just put a few gems on. So you can use all kinds of things like this. I mean, I've used quite a lot of the new ink colours, so I'm probably going to use 2020, 2022 ink colours. And that is the card. So that's our hot dog wobble using the brushed blooms dies to create an effective background. I think it's really loud, it's bright, it's fun, might be really great for a child, or if you've got a friend that you know likes really, really bright colours, it's perfect for that. So hot dog birthday card, I hope you like it. And come back again and see our other hot dog cards which we're doing in our Kit to Go class for the month of April. Thanks for watching everyone. Come back again to see Stampin' Squirrels. Bye bye!